I gave up my chance to enter Peking University for Anna, only to later overhear her laughing with someone and saying, "Elias, that idiot bookworm, I've got him wrapped around my finger. He even enjoys every moment of it." I didn't cause a scene. I just let go of any childish fantasies about love I had as an orphan. I pushed myself relentlessly, worked to exhaustion, made it into Southern University, and joined the most promising research lab. Later, I heard she had publicly broken off her engagement. At her engagement ceremony, she announced that I was her unforgettable first love. Without any dignity left, she threw everything away to chase after me. But by then, I was already with Victoria, the most beautiful and understanding girlfriend I could have asked for. I would cherish her and spoil her for the rest of my life. "Elias, I can't figure out this problem. Can you explain it to me?" The girl standing in front of me had delicate features and fair skin. Her eyes curved into a gentle, friendly smile that was impossible to resist. She was stunning. For a moment, I just stared at her, slightly dazed. "Elias." Oh, of course." I quickly pulled myself together, picked up my pen, and began writing the steps on a scrap of paper. "Look, if you convert this into logarithmic form, it becomes much easier to solve." Anna's eyes lit up. "Elias, you're so smart. If I were as clever as you, I'd definitely get into Peking University too." I first met Anna in the library. Sunlight streamed through the tall windows, casting a warm glow over my desk, which was already stacked high with books. The air was quiet, filled with the faint scent of paper and knowledge. The only sound was the soft rustling of pages turning. I was so absorbed in studying that I barely noticed anything around me, until a book dropped onto the table beside me, breaking my concentration. I looked up and saw her standing by the bookshelf across from me, looking a little embarrassed. "Oh, sorry. I didn't notice you were there." Her voice was soft, apologetic. I waved it off. "It's fine. The library's big. A little noise now and then doesn't matter. You're Elias, right?" "I know you," she said, clearly trying to start a conversation. I searched my memory but couldn't recall ever meeting someone as striking as her. "I don't think I know you." She laughed lightly. "Big shot Elias. I'm Anna. You really don't pay attention to who's always second on the leaderboard, do you?" That triggered a vague memory. The name right below mine in every exam ranking, Anna. After that day in the library, I started seeing her everywhere. "Elias, I solved the last math question," she said excitedly one day. "That's amazing. Now I'll have to work harder to keep up with you," I replied, smiling. She giggled, her eyes curving into crescents. Moments like that became common between us. Ever since she transferred into our class and chose to sit next to me, we grew closer. And slowly, my feelings for her stopped being purely platonic. As an orphan, I had never truly felt loved. Anna's bright smile drew me in little by little. I didn't know how to love someone properly, so I simply did everything I could to give her whatever she wanted. "Elias, your breakfast looks so good. Can you bring me one next time?" "Elias, I don't know how to solve this question. Can you help me?" "Elias, can I borrow your notes from last class? Taking notes is such a hassle." Every time she looked at me with those clear eyes and smiled, I agreed without hesitation. I must have been out of my mind. The orphanage didn't give us much for living expenses. If I wanted to buy something for Anna, I had to earn the money myself. Luckily, being top of the class for 2 years helped me find a tutoring job. I went every day after school, helping other students. Most nights, I didn't return to the orphanage dorm until nearly midnight. When my dorm mate, Eric, found out, he kept shaking his head. "You're such a simp." If that's what I was, then fine. I enjoyed every moment of it. One morning after reading class, I hurried to buy breakfast for Anna. On the way back, I saw Duncan, the school bully, walking out of our classroom. "Top scholar, buying breakfast for Anna again," he smirked, a faint glint of mockery in his eyes. A strange unease rose in my chest, but I ignored him and walked into the classroom. "Elias, you actually got the steamed buns from the place I mentioned yesterday? You're the best." Anna's voice was bright and refreshing, like morning dew. I didn't reply immediately. I just looked at her. She noticed something was off. "What's wrong?" Did you stay up too late studying? I hesitated, then asked quietly, Was Duncan here to see you? Her smile stiffened, and a flash of embarrassment crossed her face. We used to be in the same class. He invited me to his birthday party this weekend, but I turned him down. He invited everyone, so it would have been rude not to include me. But I'll be at the library with you this weekend. Her tone was playful, but her eyes avoided mine. I took a deep breath, feeling the tightness in my chest ease. I see. Seeing my relief, her smile returned, even brighter. Of course. Getting into Peking University is my top priority, right? She lightly patted my shoulder, the gesture unusually intimate. We had agreed we would go to Peking University together. We would have a beautiful future. Then came the competition. You're really giving up this competition? The homeroom teacher asked sternly. I shrugged. Didn't you always say we should make our own choices? I'm choosing not to participate. Do you realize this competition guarantees admission? This is the only spot our school has. I knew he was looking out for me. My grades are good enough to get into Peking University on my own. Whether I join or not doesn't matter. He sighed and took off his glasses to wipe them. With your grades, Peking University is within reach. But this competition is valuable. Giving it up is a huge loss. I don't care about that. In the end, he sighed again. Then call Anna in. If you won't participate, she'll take the spot. Anna had always wanted to go to Peking University. I walked through the noisy hallway and tapped her lightly. Anna, the teacher wants to see you. What for? Probably about the competition. A classmate whistled teasingly. Anna, is it time for the top spot to change hands? Anna burst into laughter, her innocent smile shining in the sunlight. Go on. Don't keep the teacher waiting, I said, trying to steady my voice even though my heart felt strange. When she came back holding the registration form, beaming, I told myself quietly, this is for the best. She ran up to me, eyes sparkling but carrying a hint of unease. This competition spot was meant for you, wasn't it? I swallowed, unable to speak. You gave it up on purpose, didn't you? I nodded faintly. Thank you. She leaned in and hugged me gently, whispering in my ear. I stood there stiffly, feeling her hair brush against my cheek, soft and fleeting. Then she pulled away, laughing playfully. Since you did me such a big favor, you're officially my little assistant. If my assignments go off track, it's your job to fix them. How could I refuse? That weekend, I arrived at the cafe on time, math notes tucked in my pocket after staying up all night organizing them. Then I heard her laughter from inside. Look at this fool, giving up the competition spot for me. In less than a month, he'll confess. He even brings me breakfast. Oh man, I thought the top scholar would hold out longer. Relax, everyone's at Anna's feet. It was her. With Duncan. And others. I froze. Every word stabbed into me. All right, you guys go ahead. He's about to show up. I want to play along a little longer. As she finished speaking, her eyes met mine. I looked at her coldly. Shock flickered across her face. Her friends noticed me too. The laughter died. So, top scholar, Duncan sneered, pulling Anna into his arms. Now that you know, just break it off. Do you know the chairman's last name? What makes you think the chairman's daughter would end up with an orphan like you? I looked at Anna. No one knew I was an orphan, except her. She turned away. The red-haired girl scoffed. Stop dreaming. Anna and my brother are the real couple. Their engagement was arranged long ago. I left. I ended up back at the orphanage. Eric jumped down from his bed when he saw me. You're finally back. Did you know Anna is the chairman's daughter? I even made a list of her favorite things for you. Then he paused. What's wrong? Did finding out she's rich scare you off? As long as she doesn't mind, who cares? It's just dating. When she goes abroad, you'll probably break up anyway. Abroad? You didn't know? She's going overseas after graduation. Already passed IELTS. I felt numb. So wanting to go to Peking University had just been an excuse to get close to me. I had foolishly given up everything. No wonder she transferred to my class. No wonder she looked happy yet uneasy after getting the competition spot. No wonder Duncan's birthday didn't make sense. I had seen the signs. I just chose to ignore them. Monday came. As usual, I arrived early. But this time, the classroom lights were already on. Anna stood up as soon as she heard my footsteps. "Let me explain." I walked up to her calmly. "You haven't filled out the competition form yet, have you? Give it to me." Hurriedly, she rummaged through her bag and handed me the form. "I'm sorry. I didn't actually need to. You can go." I had never spoken to her in such a cold tone before. Her face turned pale, her lips trembling as she barely managed to whisper, "Elias." "You can go," I repeated. "Go back to your old class. Your old friends." She didn't move. She just stood there, looking at me with a pitiful expression. An uncontrollable anger surged in my chest. "Shouldn't you have thought about the consequences when you accepted that bet? I'm not clinging to you. I'm not trying to get revenge. Isn't that enough? Or do you, Miss Jean, still want to keep playing with me?" Her face went even paler. "No, that was just something I said. In the heat of the moment. Enough. You knew how important this competition was to me. And you, a pampered rich girl, didn't even need it. Yet you still took it gladly, just for the sake of a bet. Didn't you?" She looked like she wanted to argue, but I didn't give her the chance. I met her eyes and said firmly, "I won't trust you again." Then I turned and walked out of the classroom. After that, the days passed as if Anna had never existed in my life. I went back to the homeroom teacher, who, despite my constant change of mind, had always supported me. He even approved my registration for the competition again. This time, I would cherish this hard-earned opportunity. I would never sacrifice my future for anyone again. Soon, I set off for the competition. In an unfamiliar place, I felt slightly out of sorts. The nerves hit especially hard the day before the contest, so I decided to take a walk in the park near the hotel. In the elevator, I unexpectedly ran into Victoria from the neighboring school. Then again, it wasn't that surprising. She and I usually ranked first and second in the city and often crossed paths at competitions. Naturally, she would be here too. What a coincidence. "Hardly," Victoria smirked. "I heard someone almost skipped this competition, so I came especially to mock him." I was startled that the rumors had spread that far. Seeing my expression, she burst out laughing. "Come on, lover boy. You look completely out of it." We found a conference room and chatted for a while. Having someone familiar around quickly eased my anxiety, and soon we were quizzing each other with past exam questions. After a while, Victoria rubbed her eyes. "It's late. Go get some sleep. Tomorrow's important. Even if we're rivals, I still want you at your best." In a daze, I returned to my room. I fell asleep quickly, her words echoing faintly in my dreams. The competition passed in a blur. To my surprise, I felt incredible the entire time. I even answered 2 questions we had reviewed the night before perfectly. Those last-minute revisions had truly paid off. When I walked out of the exam hall, I felt lighter than I had in a long time. First place. Provincial training team. My homeroom teacher looked at me like I was some kind of genius as he read the official announcement. I scratched my head, grinning. "This practically guarantees your spot at Peking University. Go submit your application." No. This time, I'm choosing Southern University. Peking University had always been Anna's dream. But for me, I had always preferred Southern University's computer science program. This time, I would follow my own heart. With admission secured, life became easier. With the teacher's help, I found several well-paying tutoring jobs. The parents treated me kindly, knowing I was headed to Southern University. And somehow, Victoria became a constant presence in my life. She came from an ordinary family, but her bright, cheerful personality brought warmth wherever she went. "Elias! Elias!" I was in the orphanage office helping the director organize files when I heard her voice before I saw her. Victoria's family lived nearby, and they often came to volunteer with the younger children, so everyone knew her well. The director looked amused. "Here for Elias again, Victoria?" She laughed shyly. "Hey, yeah, director. Last time Elias helped me with a few questions, and they actually showed up in the exam. My mom insisted I invite him over for dinner to thank him." The director looked at me. "Go on, Elias. No rush here. Don't keep her waiting." I set down the files and walked out with her. "My mom made sweet and sour pork just for you. Do you know how much effort that takes? She'd never make it just for me. I'm only getting some because of you." Victoria skipped beside me under the sunlight, talking non-stop. Still feeling slightly dazed, I interrupted. "It feels wrong to go empty-handed. Let me buy something for your mom." My dorm was just ahead. I hurried to the door, but when I arrived, someone was standing there waiting. She lifted her head at the sound of footsteps. It was Anna. "Elias, I heard you got early admission to Southern University." Just then, Victoria ran over, slightly out of breath. "Hey, why did you walk so fast? My mom's not in that much of a hurry." Anna's expression shattered when she heard that. "You too." I hadn't expected her to find where I lived. But with her father's connections, checking student records wouldn't be difficult. I didn't want to deal with her, but Victoria seemed oddly entertained. She tugged my sleeve. "Elias, even though we agreed you'd meet my parents today, if this sister needs to talk to you, we can reschedule. Just don't keep her waiting too long." Goosebumps prickled on my skin, but I understood what she meant. "Don't worry. I promised I'd go with you today. I won't change plans." Anna's eyes reddened with anger. She stomped her foot and ran off. I went inside, grabbed a box of snacks I had bought a few days earlier, and left with Victoria. On the way, she hesitated. "So that was Anna. She's actually, well, she's pretty good-looking," she admitted reluctantly. Over the past few days, I had begun to understand Victoria's feelings. But thinking about everything that had happened between Anna and me, I realized it wasn't entirely her fault. I hadn't known her well. We came from completely different worlds. Yet I had blindly chased something I didn't truly understand. Growing up without parents, I had no idea what a healthy relationship looked like. When I liked someone, I simply followed them without thinking about improving myself or building something solid together. With all my flaws, how could I ever think of pursuing someone as wonderful as Victoria? So I steadied myself and said honestly, yes. That was the girl I used to like. Victoria pouted. "So what? I'm not worse than her." Her lively, radiant personality didn't need to be compared to anyone. "But you know I'm an orphan. Your parents would never agree to us being together. I have no family, no connections, no assets. What parent would want their daughter with someone like me?" She looked at me seriously. "Orphan or not, how do you know my parents wouldn't agree?" "They wouldn't. I've never known real love. I'd be a terrible boyfriend." "Don't say that," she replied firmly. "My parents have brought me to the orphanage since I was little. I don't see you as any different. Yes, you lack parental love, but love isn't only one thing. You have the director's care. You have Eric and everyone else. Those are forms of love too. And with enough love, you'll learn how to love others." She paused, then smiled softly. "So how about you try loving me? That way, you'll learn how to love back." Her words gave me courage. Still, I worried about facing her parents. "Let's wait a little. Your parents might not approve." Victoria hummed playfully. "Just watch at dinner. They adore you." At her house, I placed the gift box on the coffee table and greeted her parents nervously. "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Chen." Mrs. Chen brought out the final dish. Perfect timing. "Go wash up and sit down." The dinner atmosphere was warm and lively. They shared stories, laughed, and kept piling food into my bowl until I couldn't eat another bite. Watching them filled me with quiet envy. If only this were my family. I quickly scolded myself for daydreaming. "Please, no more. I'm full." Victoria nudged me. "See? I told you they like you." After dinner, I offered to help wash dishes, but Mr. Chen waved me off. "Leave that to me. Don't steal my job." Mrs. Chen peeled an orange for me. I was startled. Before I could eat a slice, she asked, "Are you and Victoria dating?" I nearly choked. No. I wouldn't dare." "Well, if you are, that's fine too," she said gently. "We've watched you grow up. You're a good kid. And Victoria, she can't stop smiling lately. Every other sentence is about you." Hope flickered inside me. "But," she added. My heart dropped. "But what?" "I heard there was another girl you liked before. If you're not serious about Victoria, then let it go." I straightened immediately. "No, Mrs. Chen. I truly care about Victoria now." "Really? Really?" She smiled knowingly. "Victoria, stop eavesdropping." I realized the sound of running water in the kitchen had stopped long ago. 2 figures were reflected in the glass. Victoria slid the door open awkwardly, her face flushed. After officially starting our relationship, I joined a research group. A young professor from Southern University's Information Security Lab invited me to join the provincial competition training team. I had always been fascinated by computer security and believed it would be a promising field. The research group even offered a stipend, and any patents we developed could bring bonuses. Only by improving myself could I feel confident in giving Victoria a better life. She was my guiding light. In September, Victoria began college too, and we were reunited on Southern University's campus. She majored in finance and often visited me in the lab, where the seniors loved teasing us. One day, however, an unexpected visitor appeared. Elias. I hadn't expected to see Anna here. She told me she hadn't followed her family's plan to attend an Ivy League school. Instead, she had earned admission to Southern University on her own. "I know it's embarrassing to keep coming to you like this, but—" She didn't finish. Her eyes said everything. I sighed. When I had liked her, she treated me like a joke. Now she was chasing after me desperately. This kind of love, delayed by time, was never meant to have a future. Her phone rang. Words like engagement and come back drifted through the air. When she returned, I said firmly, "Don't look for me anymore. You're getting engaged soon, aren't you? I wish you and Duncan happiness." Then I walked back into the office. A senior teased me. "Elias, who's that outside? Some unfinished romantic debt? Don't let it affect you and Victoria." I laughed it off. That same day, I told Victoria everything. I was grateful she trusted me completely. A few days later, I received a strange text, "Wait for me." Before I could think about it, Eric called. "Come on, call me Dad and I'll tell you something explosive." "Say it, or I'm hanging up." Fine. Check the video I sent." I opened it. It showed a luxurious hotel lobby. Guests dressed elegantly, clearly an engagement banquet. The camera panned to the stage. Anna and Duncan. I was about to stop watching when Eric said, "Keep watching." The atmosphere grew tense as the ceremony began. Duncan stood confidently in a sharp suit. Anna stood beside him in a red gown, her expression serious. When the host announced the engagement, Anna suddenly grabbed the microphone. "I won't be getting engaged." Then she ran off the stage. I froze. "What? Do you know why she cancelled it?" Eric asked. "Why?" "It's because of you. I was working at the hotel tonight. I heard her telling her parents she already has someone she loves, and he's at Southern University." A pause. Obviously, she was talking about you. I felt a little dazed. She had really called off her engagement because of me. Thinking about that text message, an ominous feeling stirred in my heart. Sure enough, that afternoon, as soon as I stepped out of the office, a figure rushed toward me. It was Anna, still wearing the red dress from her engagement party, looking exhausted and disheveled. "Elias, I've called off the engagement. Can you forgive me? Can we start over?" I took a step back. "Anna, I thought you were a smart girl." Anna gave a bitter smile. "At first, I thought I could just go along with my family's plans and return to my world. But I can't forget you. I've already broken off the engagement with Duncan." I sighed and shook my head. Come on, we're adults. You know we can't go back. Why? Anna suddenly shouted, her voice breaking. I had never seen her like this before. You gave up that competition spot for me, and I can give up everything for you. We're meant to be together. Anna, maybe I didn't make it clear before, but the moment I found out you approached me because of a bet, it was over between us. When love starts with deceit, it can never end well. Anna started choking back tears. Are you really going to do this? I have nothing left. Only you. I sighed. I'm sorry. Thinking I had softened, she quickly asked, So, you've forgiven me? I shook my head. I still can't accept you. Of course, if you ever need help, I'll do my best to be there, but that's all. This is the best outcome for us. Her eyes reddened. It's because of that Victoria, isn't it? I won't give up. I turned to leave, casting one last glance back at her. There was a hint of madness in her eyes. These days, my professor had secured a new research project, and the whole lab had been busy. I had much less time to spend with Victoria. By the time I realized something was wrong, the project was already over. I invited Victoria out for a meal, but she kept turning me down. Her strange behavior made me anxious, so I quietly called her roommate, who told me Victoria had been in a car accident and was in the hospital. Terrified, I rushed to the hospital. Victoria's mother was there, watching over her. When Victoria saw me, she seemed surprised. Hey, it's really no big deal. I just didn't want to worry you while you were busy, so I didn't say anything. Regret filled my heart. I'm working so hard on these projects to give you a better life in the future. If you don't tell me when something happens, what's the point of all my efforts? At that moment, Victoria's mom interrupted and called me out of the room. Elias, I didn't want to say anything in front of Victoria, but do you know who hit her? I was taken aback. Wasn't it just an accident? She looked at me gravely. It was that girl you used to like, Anna. She hit Victoria and then fled the scene. They haven't caught her yet. I remembered the crazed look in Anna's eyes that day and understood. Don't worry, ma'am. I'll take care of this, and I won't let Victoria be harmed like this again. After leaving the hospital, I dialed the number from that mysterious text. Why did you hit Victoria? Isn't it because of her that you won't be with me? Don't drag anyone else into this. When are you free? Let's talk. There was silence on the other end for about half a minute. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Come to this address. She sent me the location. I showed up on time, but before I could knock, I was yanked into the room. It was Anna. She looked like she hadn't slept in days, her eyes bloodshot. She handed me a glass of water. So if Victoria was out of the way, would you come back to me? I took a sip. It tasted strange, like something unfamiliar. Anna, don't make things worse. Make things worse. I made mistakes before, yes, but I know exactly what I'm doing now. Anna looked at me and slowly removed her jacket. I felt something was wrong and tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. An uncomfortable heat began spreading through my body. Energy drink with liquor, you can't handle that, can you? I fought to keep control. My body reacted, but my mind was still clear. Just a little longer, I thought. Just a little longer. Sure enough, it wasn't long before the sound of sirens filled the air. I had called the police before coming. There was no way I'd let someone who hurt Victoria go unpunished. As the police escorted Anna away, she looked back at me, her eyes filled with despair. So, we really can't be together? I couldn't help but say, please, stop being so delusional. Anna was ultimately convicted for hit and run. I wanted no further involvement with her and didn't visit her again. Instead, I went to a mall, bought a ring, and spent all the money I had on me. In the hospital, in front of Victoria's mom and everyone else, I knelt by her bedside. Victoria, will you marry me? The girl I loved most looked at me through tear-filled eyes. Yes, I will.